Konnichiwa, my fellow otakus and non-otakus. I am Otaku Rubila, which means geek reviewer in Japanese. I read video games, anime, and manga. It's been quite a long time since I made a video last year, so I decided to talk about something a bit controversial like Sonic Adventure 3. But before I get into that subject, I need to say out something really important, because what I'm about to say after this is going to shock most of you guys. First off, I'm a huge Sonic Adventure fan. I love both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. They are my favorite 3D Sonic games of all time. Nothing would make me very happy to see SEGA make a Sonic Adventure 3. It would make my wildest dreams come true. But, you know what? Some dreams are better off being dreams. What does that mean, you ask? Well, here's the thing, guys. As much as I want to see Sonic Adventure 3 get created, I don't want SEGA to make Sonic Adventure 3.
What an asshole!
I know some of you out there are probably thinking I'm crazy or just plain stupid, but I have a good reason why. The reason why I don't want SEGA to make Sonic Adventure 3 is because they can't make Sonic games like they used to. You saw what they did to Sonic 4. Okay, the game's not terrible, but it does lack any originality. Sonic 4 rehashes some of the stages from the classic Sonic games and doesn't offer anything new. The game's physics are nothing like the classic Sonic games, and there are some things that they could have done better with the Sonic 4 saga. If you want to get an idea what my actual thoughts on Sonic 4 are, watch some Kami Johnny's review on Sonic 4 episodes 1 and 2. I agree with everything he says in his review about the Sonic 4 saga. Anyway, the point I'm getting at here is, how many of you guys were disappointed on how Sonic 4 turned out? If you said yes, then you would get an idea why I don't want SEGA to make Sonic Adventure 3. If SEGA turns Sonic Adventure 3 into a pile of shit, I will never forgive them for as long as I live. For those of you who think that Sonic Heroes, Sonic 06, or Sonic Unleashed are Sonic Adventure 3, well, guess what? You're wrong. Takashi Iizuka has stated that Sonic Heroes is its own separate series, kinda like Sonic 06 and Sonic Unleashed. Why? Because none of those games have any Chow Gardens. Oh, but Sonic 06 plays like a Sonic Adventure game. Maybe so. But if you've seen the interviews for Sonic 06, you realize that Sonic 06 was meant to be something new instead of another Sonic Adventure game. Besides, Sonic 06 was a shitty game with a terrible story, bad gameplay, dreadful graphics, and no Chow Garden, so it doesn't count. Not that I mind there wasn't a Chow Garden, after all I never really did got into the whole Chow Garden thing, but nevertheless, you can't have a Sonic Adventure game without a Chow Garden, am I right? Sonic Unleashed on the other hand is a complete different game. It doesn't play like Sonic Adventure at all. Sure, it has a hub world and the Japanese title for Sonic Unleashed is Sonic World Adventure, but like I said, it's a different game altogether. I mean, can you go this fast in a Sonic Adventure game? No, you can't. Besides, whenever I play Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations, I'm always holding the boost button, because I want to go fast. And that's the problem I have with both the gameplays for Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations. The games encourage me to go fast as possible instead of letting me take my time. When you are given the ability of going the speed of sound, you don't want to stop. You want to keep going until you reach the end of the goal. Now, don't get me wrong you guys, I do like the gameplay for Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations, but I think this type of gameplay focuses way too heavily on speed instead of balancing it with platforming. I mean, think about it. What was your favorite part about the gameplay for these games? Going super fast to reach the goal, or stop at certain points to get to the fun part by platforming? I can tell you right now that I hate the platforming in both games, because they're not as fun as the super speed sections. This is why I heavily praise the Sonic Adventure series gameplay. Those games knew how to balance out both speed and platforming just like the classic games. Sure, Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog kind of balance those two out, but the characters move a little too fast for my liking. What I like about the Sonic Adventure games is whenever you move the characters, they start out slow for a few seconds, and then go super fast once they reach their maximum speed. I like that, because you have enough reaction time to react to enemies and or obstacles, and you can walk around levels without having to move super fast. Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog on the other hand, feels like I'm moving on ice. No matter what I'm doing, I always start running like there's no tomorrow. Platforming is ridiculous in these games. There are so many fucking pitfalls in Sonic Heroes, I can't begin to tell you how many times I fall off the platforms. I have to cautiously go platform to platform because I'm afraid that I might fall off the edge. Shadow the Hedgehog is another story. Shadow's jumps may feel sluggish, but thankfully I'm able to jump platform to platform without falling off so often like in Sonic Heroes. While I do think Sonic Heroes is a decent, frustrating game and Shadow the Hedgehog being a bit of a guilty pleasure in my book, I think these games could have been better than what they are now. Again, watch some Comic Johnny's reviews. You'll get an idea what are my thoughts on those games. However, Johnny thinks the idea of Shadow using a gun is ridiculous, while I think it's really cool. Besides, I was 11 years old when this game came out, so of course I was really hyped when I read about Shadow the Hedgehog in a video game magazine before it was released. It might have been Nintendo Power, but I could be wrong about that. The other reason why I like seeing Shadow use a gun is because it'll help differentiate himself from Sonic. Let's face it guys, Shadow's like a recolor of Sonic, but with Super Sonic's hair and a dark personality. I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually do like Shadow. It's just I want him to be different from Sonic, so that way both Sonic and Shadow won't have to play like each other gameplay wise. While Sonic can play like he usually does in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Shadow can use weapons to fight his enemies. Just give him his weapons and his motorcycle from Shadow the Hedgehog and we're good to go. Oh, and give him a cape as well, so that'll give him the lone wolf appearance. Also, Johnny is one of those Sonic fans who prefer Sonic games with lighthearted stories, while I, on the other hand, prefer dark complex stories, just as long as the Sonic games aren't too dark like Shadow the Hedgehog and ugh. Speaking of dark and lighthearted stories, I think the only Sonic games that perfectly balance those two out are the Sonic Adventure series, despite that Sonic Adventure 2 was a lot darker, Sonic Unleashed, and the Sonic Storybook series. Look, Sonic Unleashed and the Sonic Storybook series may not be my favorite Sonic games of all time, but they do a better job at telling a lighthearted dark story despite the stories being bad. If you told me which games I would rather play the most, it would be Sonic Unleashed. While I may not like the story, the new characters, and the Werehog stages, I'll admit that the gameplay is 100 times better than the Sonic Storybook series. The Storybook games are just unplayable. The gameplay is controlled like other shit, the stories are not the worst, but not the best, and most of all, just flat out boring. I won't be playing these games ever again. They're that terrible, guys. I mean, don't ever play these games. I mean, like, ever. They're that bad. I'm serious. Now let's get down to the last 3 Sonic games I want to cover. Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost World. While the gameplay for both these games are at least decent, but I think they heavily rely more on platforming than they do with speed. Yeah, the speed sections are there, but they're just not as appealing as the Sonic Adventure games. However, the gameplays are not my biggest issue. My biggest issue are the stories for both Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost World. I swear to God, these are the worst lighthearted Sonic stories I have ever seen in my life. Not only do these stories contain new characters that I don't like, but they also have terrible jokes that'll make a 2-year-old laugh.
Baldy nose hair.
Baldy nose hair! Baldy McNose hair!
Baldy nose hair?
I'm totally calling him McNose hair.
2,000 years later.
Hey! I've been looking for you, Baldy McNose hair! Hey, Tails, you missed the BBBE.
Huh?
Best boss beating ever! Hey! Did somebody here order a clobbering? Are you sure? It says somebody ordered an extra large clobbering topped with everything. Okay. Tell you what, I can't take this thing back, so I'll give you an extra large clobbering for nothing. Hope you're hungry.
And only at your Pizza Hut.
I need to get to the machine and reprogram the shutdown sequence. I'll supply the brains. You will supply the brawn I need to get past the Zeti.
Oh, and you're asking so nicely.
Good one, buddy.
Thanks.
I don't get it.
Whew, that was cool. Pun entirely intended.
Really, nigga?
Okay, he says his name is Talks a Lot, and he's from a faraway soda, and where flowers water them with dances. So anyway, they're either being used for their magical powers by an evil man, or to make underwear to be worn by Salad.
This shit isn't funny.
Who are you calling fat?
You!
I've been itching for a fight all day.
I think you're itching because you need a bath.
Are you disrespecting me?
Maybe.
Swag.
Your efforts are impressive, little hedgehog, but you are destined to fail, as the fat fool has failed before you.
I'll get fat from eating your black hearts, you Eggman wannabes! You Eggman wannabes! You Eggman wannabes!
Whoa!
Whoa. Your threats are almost as amusing as your mustache.
Oh, cut away from that!
Shiver me timber!
This shit isn't funny.
You talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. There's nobody else here, so I must be talking to you.
We're saying lines from a movie. Laugh!
Leaving so soon. There are no lines, and I've saved the best rides for last. At least let me stamp your hand so you can come back in.
I know you're trying to be clever with this whole amusement park pun thing, but it's just coming off lame. So just say you're going to destroy us and stop embarrassing yourself.
Curse you, Sonic! Not only do you foil my plans, but you foil my speeches as well!
Okay, let me make myself clear, guys. I don't think Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost World are terrible Sonic games. I just really hate the stories and the jokes that SEGA present in these games. Let's hope SEGA learns from their mistake and try to make a good Sonic game from now on. Or they can make a really shitty Sonic game that's equally bad or worse than Sonic 06. I don't think I need to say anything else about the Sonic Boom series. It's awful. Both the games and the TV show suck balls. And the new Sonic Boom game that's gonna come out, it's gonna suck too. I don't care if I sound pessimistic, I know that game isn't gonna turn out good. It's just gonna be like Shatter Crystal, with the ability to use fire and ice powers. That's it. And you thought the jokes in Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost World were terrible? Huh, check this shit out.
Knuckles, are my grilled pheasants ready?
Not now, Amy. I'm busy.
Oh, please don't cook me, Knuckles! Today turned out a lot different than I expected. Don't look at me! I didn't use her lovingly prepared meal as a puppet!
I have never heard jokes this bad in my entire life. As a matter of fact, the Sonic Boom TV show is the worst Sonic TV show I have ever seen in my life. I'd rather watch Sonic X than this horseshit of a comedy fest. It's that bad.
You guys might be a little rusty, so how about some batting practice?
You got a decent swing, but you keep hitting it foul.
What kind of pitch was that?
I think it was a screwball.
Okay, maybe not Sonic X. Believe it or not, I actually had high hopes for this spin-off series. No, I am actually serious. Watch my old video on my thoughts on the Sonic Boom series. I really thought this game would help appeal to the Sonic fans. Alright, since we covered about Sonic Boom, let me tell you what I think about this spin-off franchise. I think it's great. No, I'm serious. I love this new direction that they're going for. The trailers for both the TV show and the video game look amazing. Then again, that's what I thought of Sonic 06, but I'm giving the franchise a chance. I really think that both the TV show and the video game will help appeal to Western audiences, even though that Sonic has a huge Western fan base, but okay. Alright, I covered everything about Sonic Boom. I love the direction they're going for, I love Tails and Amy's new design, but hate Sonic and Knuckles' new design. So all in all, I like this new spin-off franchise and hope it turns out well. I just wish they redesigned Sonic to have peach colored arms, correct body proportions, and I also wish that they retained Knuckles' normal appearance, but keep the new clothes for this franchise. Oh god, damn, I was such a fool to believe that SEGA would make a good Sonic game this time, but nope, SEGA decides to take a shit on us instead. Would these guys ever learn from their mistakes? Huh? What's this? Oh, don't you give me that bullshit. You want to apologize to us after you guys gave us so many shitty Sonic games? You're gonna have to do a lot better than just to apologize to us, SEGA. If you want us to accept your apology, the first thing you guys should do is get your act together and make a good Sonic game. How do you do that, you ask? Well, guess what, my fellow SEGA employees? I got some ideas that might help save your company from going bankrupt. By the way, I'm also gonna add Steven Nuck's ideas in this as well, since he addressed some ideas I agree on, and because he beat me to the punch when he uploaded his video on YouTube. So, there you have it. First off, make the Sonic games play like the Sonic Adventure series again. The gameplay was awesome about the Sonic Adventure games. Well, in Sonic's case. Can you guys give this other Sonic characters with a better gameplay mechanic? You know, just to have the playable characters reach the goal, but have their gameplay be a bit different from one another. Like have Tails focus more on puzzle solving platforms, while have Knuckles focus more on beat 'em up platforms. Something like that, but more importantly, no Wisp. Have all items from the classic games be used in future 3D Sonic games. Also, don't forget to include the hub worlds, power upgrades, and Chao Gardens too, as an extra plus for the Sonic fans. That's not all. Take it away, Steven Nux.
Sonic Adventure introduced Chao Gardens, the ability to raise these adorable little creatures and let them compete in various challenges. I want everything Adventure 2's Garden had, and more. What do I mean by more? Online. Yes, if I'm going to have a Chao Garden, I'd like it to be online. With this feature, you can trade Chao with friends, let a friend take care of your Chao, battle with friends, send snapshots, or have a friend visit your garden. Speaking of gardens, I want to be able to customize their appearances. If you like the simplistic green look of the original, that's cool. If you enjoyed the beach one from Adventure 1, it should be there as well. Chao could easily have newer designs too. This is even shown in Sonic Jump Fever. Again, the moral system, kindergarten, all that from Adventure 2 should carry over, just with added features. Rankings. Honestly, I don't want these to return. Yes, they're a cool reminder that you should get better at a certain stage, but I like how Adventure handled it. Each stage has 3 missions. As long as you beat those missions, you were given the emblem. No all A rank nonsense, just beat the stage. I think that's all it takes for making the game longer, and I appreciate Lost World for removing them also. And yes, that means I want emblems back. 3 per stage, just like Adventure. The Chao Gardens and multiplayer modes shouldn't get in the way of getting all the emblems. With each certain amount you collect, you should be given new carts for the kart racing minigame, multiplayer and single player outfits, Chao items, and something really cool for getting all of them. Probably an extra stage or a classic Sonic skin. That'd be cool. That'd definitely make you want to 100% the game. Menus. Yeah, remember how fun those were? I would love to see character-themed menus return, with voiceovers as well. These really give the game personality. Every time you would open the game, your favorite character was there. It was a small detail that really helped me appreciate what the game did and made me a bit more comfortable with it. Sound tests should also return, because I swear they don't do that nearly as much as they used to. If Unleashed had it, I certainly missed it. Didn't see one in Colors, and Generations had one, but I would have liked to hear the remixes that actually took place in the stages. A sound test should have everything. Shouldn't be hard to include. Maybe Sega's just like, well, they're on the internet, so why include them? If that's the case, look at Smash Brothers. Tons of freaking music, and it's all there for you to listen to. See what I mean? It's just the little things.
Second off, be sure to have writers that can write a compelling story. Find someone who can write a good story and balance out the lighthearted stuff and the dark stuff. Also, be sure the writer can write good humor. I don't need another Sonic Boom. Third, make sure the level designs are good and memorable. Have the level textures be like the classic stages, like what you guys did with Sonic Heroes, but be sure that the levels are new and original, and have the textures be up to date. You know, HD quality and stuff. Don't have the levels be linear or one straight path, make them non-linear. Reward the player for having them think outside the box and have them explore different paths to take to get to the end of the goal. Fourth, have the graphics be like Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations. From what I understand, there are some Sonic fans out there that felt that one of these games had better graphics than the other, despite that both these games were made with the same game engine. If that's the case, then you guys should take the good aspects out of both graphics and apply them to one. Also, I actually prefer the animation in Sonic Unleashed than I did with Sonic Generations. In Sonic Unleashed, the characters' animations moved smoothly and fluid, while Sonic Generations felt a bit stiff and choppy. I mean, Sonic Generations' animations weren't terrible, I just felt that Sonic Unleashed had better animation than Sonic Generations. So yeah, more of that please. Fifth, I think I'll have Steven Nux take over this one.
Now, enough about story mode. You know what really stuck out to me in the early 3D games? All the different modes. So let's go into what I'd like to see. First, I want a special stage mode. In order to unlock Supersonic for normal stages, I think it should just be in a separate mode altogether, sort of like what Sonic Colors did. I thought that was a smart feature. I'd like it to return, only better. Heck, why just Sonic? Let's allow the other story characters to have super forms as well. Normal stage select, of course, should be included. Something easy to navigate with, similar to Adventure 2's world map or even Sonic Heroes. But what I want is the ability to play as different characters from stages from the story mode. For Sonic stages, let me play as non-story or non-playable characters such as Shadow, Silver, Blaze, Amy, or Metal Sonic. Sort of like character skins, but with actual characters. Adventure 2 did something similar with its multiplayer, and I'd love to see that for the single player mode as well. Knuckles can have Rouge, Tikal, and Chaos, and the rest of the characters should have alts too. That segues into multiplayer. Make it just like, again, Sonic Adventure 2. Different characters racing through every stage. But why just race? Bring back mech shooting. I had fun with that in the 2-player mode, same with the treasure hunting. That is the only way I'd want these modes to return. Give me new modes such as character battles, boss battles, 2-player special stages. Bring back the mini-kart racing game and make it control like All-Stars Racing or Generations. And to top this all off, make everything have an online option. I have tons of internet friends who are Sonic fans. Let me play with those people. Oh, and since it's completely possible, why not make everything up to 4 players? It only feels right.
6. If we're gonna have music in a Sonic game, it better have Crush 40. Crush 40 has always been a huge part in the Sonic series, and to have them make more songs for another Sonic game would be killer. Hell, not just Crush 40, find other musicians that can make music for the Sonic characters' theme songs, and love music like the Sonic Adventure soundtrack, where there were so many different types of music genres in that game. And last but not least, fix the Sonic characters. SEGA. Over the years, you flannerized our favorite characters' personalities and turned them to complete different characters. Sonic is now an arrogant douchebag jock who cracks bad jokes every now and then. Knuckles is a fucking hot-headed retard who can't tell from left and right. Amy has switched from being a girl who just wants to have fun adventures with Sonic to a creepy annoying stalker and to a mother figure. And finally, Shadow is now your typical anti-hero, which is something that I heavily dislike because it makes him look generic. Sonic and his fans were never like this. In the Sonic Adventure games, Sonic Unleashed and the Storybooks games, Sonic's personality was pretty neutral in those games. He was fairly confident in his abilities, but knew when to get serious when a real threat presented itself. However, in Sonic 06, all the quirky parts of his personality were written out and he's mostly a generic straight-laced hero in this game. That's where Sonic Colors comes in and turns Sonic into a clown. Now, I find myself favoring Sonic's old personality because he's more three-dimensional to me than his other personalities, where Sonic 06 made him too serious, which made him a boring character, while Sonic Colors made him into a bad comedian who doesn't take things seriously, which made him into an annoying gnat. Not only does his old personality make him three-dimensional, but it also helps him balance out his character. That way he's not either generic or obnoxious. So yeah, bring back our favorite hedgehog, SEGA. Out of all the characters that changed a lot over the years, it was Knuckles. People forget that Knuckles was never a hot-headed idiot in the old days. In Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, Knuckles was a quiet loner with a strong sense of duty to the Master Emerald. He was gullible and a bit hot-tempered, but he was pretty mellow and down to earth. SEGA, just because he's gullible doesn't mean he's stupid. So please, change him back to the way he was. Speaking of characters that changed drastically, Amy was never an obsessed stalker. Believe it or not, she was once an optimistic tomboy who loved fortunes and tarot cards in the classic era. In the Sonic Adventure series, Amy has grown a more feminine personality, such as an interest in shopping and fashion, but that did not remove her tomboyish nature. Thanks to Sonic Heroes, Amy was changed to a love-obsessed stalker, but now they reduced her to a bit tamer after Sonic Lost World was released. Now if SEGA were to form Amy's classic and adventure personalities into one, I think she'll flesh out a lot better as a well-rounded character, don't you agree? Shadow's personality is something that SEGA has always managed to fuck up. You see, SEGA has always saw Shadow as this typical anti-hero who only cares about himself and does whatever he wants, but that's not how I see Shadow. Shadow never crossed to me as what SEGA envisioned him. To me, Shadow the Hedgehog is a serious-minded character who is distraught over the loss of his family during the Space Colony Ark Massacre. He may be cold, rough, and distant towards others, but he does have a heart inside his dark appearance. He will go out of his way to protect anyone that is in danger, no matter what. The reason he acts anonymous around people is not because he's a jerk, but because he doesn't want to be closely attached to anyone. He doesn't want to go through the same experience he had when he lost his family, so he chooses to be solo and tries his best not to make any friends as possible. The last thing he wants to see is another friend and loved one to die in front of his eyes again. That's how I envision Shadow. I don't see why Sega needs to force Shadow to be an anti-hero when he really isn't an anti-hero at all. Yeah, Sonic and Shadow may have different views on things and have the same abilities, but that doesn't mean Shadow should be forced to be an anti-hero and be Sonic's rival just because of that. And lastly, be sure to make Tails at least active in the stories instead of having to treat him like he's a supporting cast member. I mean, he's a main character for Christ's sakes. Make him a playable character and have him make cool gadgets, not just off screen, but also give Tails cool upgrades that involve in both his physical abilities and his mechanical abilities. Also, please use Tails' old personality instead of using Tails' Sonic Lost World personality. I swear, you guys forced this plot device to have Tails get mad at Sonic for agreeing to join forces with Eggman. In the last cutscene, he looked like he had no problem with Eggman joining with them. So why the sudden change, and why does he think Sonic doesn't believe in his abilities? I mean, those two are like brothers. They shouldn't doubt one another. So please, Sega, don't do this again. Oh, and one more thing, Sega. You guys seem to forget that Rouge is a government agent and not a thief. Look, she can't be both, so you have to decide whether she works for the government or as a criminal. From all the Sonic games I have played, Rouge is better off being a government agent rather than being a thief. Besides, she doesn't even live up to the title as a thief. The only time she has tried stealing anything in the Sonic franchise, it was calmly the Master Emerald, and she does that to tease Knuckles. Sure, there were some scenes where she stole other things, but that happens very minor now these days. Also, can you guys try making her less bitchy in future Sonic games? Because when I was playing Sonic Free Riders, I always felt that Shadow and Rouge were out of character in this game. So can you please make her who she was and less on what you guys try to do with her, including Shadow? Okay, since we got the characters out of the way, which voice actors should voice the Sonic characters? Well folks, that's a whole new video entirely, because there are so many voice actors that I want to voice for the Sonic series, and this video would be too long if I keep on rambling. Now, I've been going on and on about wanting a Sonic game similar to the Sonic Adventure series, but I bet some of you out there are asking yourself, why do people keep asking for Sonic Adventure 3? Why is the series so heavily praised even though it's not a huge masterpiece? Why do people give a shit about a blue talking hedgehog who should have been irrelevant in 2006? Well, let me summarize up what I just said throughout the video and tell you, as a longtime Sonic Adventure fan, why the Sonic Adventure series is beloved by most Sonic fans. The reason why the series is so heavily praised is because the gameplays were really fun, and we had full control of our favorite Sonic characters, and they moved beautifully. And Sega changed the gameplay after Sonic Adventure 2 that was already perfect in the first place. Yeah, some character levels worked and some didn't, but I honestly didn't care. I was so sucked in by the stories, I tended to discard any flaws that was present for both these games. The characters were so memorable and so cool looking, how could you not hate these characters? The soundtrack is fucking amazing. If you were to watch Sonic Adventures 1 and 2 intro as a kid, your mind would have been blown away. It was that epic. Plus, I'd never seen a character move this fast in a video game before when I was 9 years old. It took me by surprise. Sure, the graphics, the cutscenes, and the voice acting were dated, but like I said, I didn't care. Look, the Sonic Adventure series may not be considered masterpieces of all time, but they were the best Sonic games out there. The series made me fall in love with the franchise in the first place, and seeing my favorite characters being finalized, watch Sega fuck up the gameplay mechanics, and writers making half-baked stories really tears at my heartstrings.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I know some of you out there might think I might be speaking from a nostalgic point of view, but you know what? You might be right. You may not see the appeal that everyone has for this series, but you know what? The passion that the Sonic fans have for this series will never die. If Sega decides to make Sonic Adventure 3, let's hope to God that it turns out as good as the Adventure series, or better than Adventures 1 and 2. We can only dream, and that's why wishes are eternal. I'm sorry. That part was really corny. I'll stop now. I think I said everything that needed to be said. Arigato gozaimasu for watching my video. If you liked this video, hit that like button and go to my channel and check out more of my other videos that I've done in the past. Leave a comment on what you thought about this video and be sure to share this with your friends. With that said, I'll see you guys later. Sayonara.